Welcome to the channel. In this tutorial, we'll be designing this beautiful infographic that highlights wage gaps in U.S. higher education institutions. It's essentially a dumbbell chart, customized with a few graphic design tweaks to make it visually engaging. To design this infographic, we'll use Canva for the overall layout and information design, and Charticulator to create the dumbbell chart. So if you're excited, let's jump right in. We'll be using this simple sample data, which shows annual earnings in thousands of dollars and the wage gap between males and females in the institutions. The dumbbell chart is great for comparing differences between groups. It can also be used to visualize changes over time, such as comparing revenue from last year to this year. Let's begin by creating the chart in Charticulator. Go to the Charticulator website. If you're new to the tool, you can check the description to get started. Click on New and upload the sample data. First, let's change the stacking to horizontal, since we want the bars, or sticks, to be laid out horizontally. Next, let's add the legend by selecting our column names. To start, drag the data axis into the glyph editor, then drop in the male and female data points. Charticulator will automatically calculate and display the average. The next step is to link the male and female points with a line to form the dumbbell shape. We should now see a preview of the chart on the canvas. Next, let's add the circles, or balls, to both ends of the line. Click and drag a shape, then adjust its placement by dragging the anchor point to the end of the bar. Repeat the same process for the right side of the line. Now, let's add the school dimension to the left side of the chart. To do that, click on the text field and place it where you want the school names to be displayed. The font is quite small, so let's make it larger and bold for better visibility. Just select the text and adjust its size and weight in the Attributes panel. Next, let's flip the data axis so the data points are ordered correctly and change the sorting from largest to smallest. We can also delete the default title and legend, since we'll be adding customized ones later in Canva. Now let's customize the circles. Select the first symbol and increase its size. I found that 4,500 is a good value. Next, change the color of the circle. I'll choose a color that stands out for the female data points. Repeat the same steps for the second symbol. Set the size to 4,500 points. The default color works well here, as it represents the male data points. Next, we'll add data labels to the circles. Start by zooming in on the glyph editor for better precision. Then, click on the text field and place it in the center of the circle. Adjust the positioning to make sure the text is perfectly aligned. Drag the corresponding data field into the text box to display the value. Now, customize the text. Adjust the font size and color to improve readability. Also, remove the decimal points to keep the labels clean and simple. Repeat the same steps for the female data point. Since we'll be using a dark background for the overall infographic in Canva, let's change the color of the school labels to white. Adjust the size and spacing of the chart as needed to fit the layout. Now, switch to dark mode to preview how the chart will look against the final background. Our dumbbell chart is now complete and ready to be exported. Let's export it as an SVG file and save it. We'll upload it to Canva shortly for the final touches. Next, open Canva to begin designing the infographic. We'll use this Pinterest-sized template for the layout. Start by changing the background to black. Canva offers plenty of black background options to choose from. Now, let's add the title and subtitle. I've already prepared them, so we'll just adjust the font and size to match the overall design. Next, let's add the callout and legend. To save time, I'll copy the ones I already created for this demo. Next, let's upload our dumbbell chart into Canva and place it on the canvas. Adjust the layout as needed. The infographic is really starting to take shape. Now, let's add a thin reference line to guide the eye across the chart. Customize the line's color and thickness as needed to match the design. For the final step, we'll add a transparent gradient background shape to visually connect the chart elements and make the graphic stand out. To do this, insert a new rectangle shape, adjust its size and corner radius to fit nicely behind the chart. Then, change the fill color to match the male and female legend colors. Use tones similar to those we used in Charticulator. Set the transparency to around 50% for a subtle effect. Rearrange the layout carefully. Align the reference line and gradient shape for a clean, balanced look. Once everything is in place, make sure the chart layer sits above the background elements to keep it clear and sharp. And that wraps up our customized dumbbell chart demo. We started by preparing the data, used Charticulator to create the dumbbell chart, and then brought it into Canva to design the final infographic layout with custom styling. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. I'll be sharing more step-by-step information design tutorials regularly. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.